Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Expat Conversation Shows with Michael Nolen. I want to again let everybody know that Expat Conversations is sponsored or through the University of Guadalajara Institute of Innovation, Investigation, and Governance, which is headquartered in Guadalajara at the main campus and run by Dr. Marco Antonio Cortez Gradado. And he's the one that's responsible for allowing us to have this show. I want to say thank you very much to him and also all the people that work at the university that help us out. Also, before we go any further, once again, we're videoing today here at the Monte Carlo Hotel, Lago Villa di Monte Carlo. It's located just on the west side of Chapala, the city of Chapala, here on Lake Chapala in central west Mexico. And I want to say thank you very much to the Monte Carlo staff and all the people that work here that allow us to come video all our shows here and have a lot of fun. It's not really hard to explain who's on my show today. We have the American Red Cross, the Mexican Red Cross, the Canadian Red Cross. We have every Red Cross there is. But there's only one Red Cross.
We're all the Mexican
that's
Red
global.
Cross.
But you're from Canada.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, she's Mexican Red Cross. We're the Mexican Red Cross, and they actually call it Cruz Roja, which is cross red backwards, because we all know that in Spanish we change everything a little bit. And first of all, let me introduce my guests. I have Yolanda Martinez, Don Marie Frazier, Jose, and Gustavo. And Jose and Gustavo are the first responders that work here in the Lake Chapala area. And gentlemen, thank you very much sincerely from the bottom of my heart for what you all do. It's unbelievable. And why don't you talk about what you all do, about what your job is, and then we'll explain a little bit more about the Red Cross here in the Lake Chapala area. And these two ladies can get involved in that. But if you wouldn't mind, Gustavo, Jose, tell the people, the expats, other people listening to the show, what y'all do, how long you've been involved, and what you want people to know about y'all.
¿En español?
English would be best.
Well, I don't know how to say a lot of words in English. So I think
Okay,
it's
we'll just
better
make
in-
something up. It's okay here.
Make something up.
This isn't the most serious show you'll ever be on.
Okay. Bueno, yo soy José, soy paramédico. Tengo alrededor de 10 años ya trabajando.
10 años, 10 years.
10 years, ajá. Trabajando como paramédico. En Cruz Roja tengo ya 5 años. Realizando servicios en toda la ribera de Chapala, Jijic, Chapala, parte de...
The whole metropolitan area around
Ajá.
the north part of the lake.
Sí,
here.
atendiendo enfermos, accidentes, apoyos en activaciones de inundaciones y en el grupo USAR, Urban Search and Rescue, del estado de Jalisco. En Cruz Roja tenemos ahorita 3 ambulancias operativas.
3 ambulances.
Ajá, somos 5 paramédicos por turno que estamos para atender todas las urgencias del día.
You got a big job, and there's always something going on.
Sí.
And we all admire what you do, and it's not easy, so thank you very much. We appreciate it. You want to add anything?
Well, pretty much the same. I'm actually pretty new in this area. I have like 2 years working in this area. I also work as a firefighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and as I was saying, in the Red Cross we have 3 ambulances that we can operate. There's 5 members of the crew, but actually there's one that is always staying in the Red Cross, getting the phone calls, letting know that if we have any other emergency, since we are outside or something like that. And we're not just paramedics. We also, in case of a disaster or an emergency, they overpass the time, or the response of the place. there's an activation that goes all the way to the state. And then you can call, I don't know, from Guadalajara, from Zapotlanejo, from all different areas. To
If
go
there's a
and help.
large enough major catastrophe,
Yeah, we do a lot of, it's called EDAN, and then we see how many houses are damaged and all that kind of stuff. They were saying before we started the recording, we do give food, we give them, I don't know, water, every kind of things they ask before.
Blankets,
after
anything
disaster.
they need.
Anything they
Yeah.
probably need. So it's just not ride in the ambulance and go and pick up an accident, somebody had an
somebody having a
accident,
heart attack or whatever.
somebody
Y'all do
had-
so much more.
Yeah, we do a lot more things than just that.
And that's what I want Don and Yolanda to explain, what all Red Cross does down here. Believe it or not, now this is a true story. I had my radio show in Puerto Vallarta for 5 years, and you know, the Bay of Banderas does have hurricanes from time to time that come up from, you know, off of the west coast of Africa, and then it scoots around the Atlantic, and it might jump over, you know, Central America, and then it comes in down South Acapulco and up towards Puerto Vallarta. And a lot of expats would contact me, and they were asking about living in that area. And then one lady said, "Oh, I hear Lake Chapala is real nice. Do they ever have hurricanes over there?" And I said, "I don't think I've ever had a hurricane at Lake Chapala." But,
No, actually, we only get just the very very last of the hurricane.
they get a lot of rain sometimes,
Yeah,
but
that's the like the second. I don't know the word, but it's the minimum thing from a hurricane because we have a lot of mountains.
and there's a lot of rain comes out this
Yeah.
way sometimes, and
when the hurricane,
wind.
the worst thing that we can have is a lot of rain.
That's true.
That's the worst thing.
There's
The
not the
mountains.
winds.
The mountains break up the storms.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing about the Bay of Banderas. I learned that, you know, the hurricanes almost have to back up to come around back. So, Yolanda, Don, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about the history of the Red Cross. I know it's an old organization, and I don't know where it was founded or anything, but then also explain the Red Cross here in Mexico, and more importantly, here in the Lake Chapala area, if you don't mind, ladies.
Well,
Way back
Red
when.
Cross here has been 63 years.
63 years, the Red Cross in the lakeside area.
One of the veterans, they started the Red Cross. He says that they used to do it in their bicycle. They would take the patients there. You know, it was just a small room when they started, and they used to take the patients in a bicycle. So it's been long time. It used to be only with volunteer people, working volunteers. But now we have 45 employees.
Wow.
Yes, because it's open the whole year, 24 hours. You
Well-
know, 24/7. It's open.
In my little bit of education about the Red Cross here, you all serve more like a hospital almost, don't you, down here? Than you do.
Well-
I mean, you do all kinds of services, but aren't you more like a hospital almost? It's different than the Red Cross that I'm familiar with in the States.
It's seriously different than Red Crosses other places.
Well, we're talking to the expats. Would you please tell like the difference? You're from Eastern Canada originally. Tell what the difference would be there and what they do here. And the services, I want you to highlight and put the importance on what
Well,
we do here.
Red Cross in Canada is primarily a disaster-oriented organization.
Okay.
All right.
And a lot of that in the United States also.
Yeah, and really good at putting up tents and taking care of people who have been forced out of their homes, that they're evacuated. We have fires, whatever. Red Cross in Mexico actually took over from the Army in 1910. The Army had been up to that point in charge of rescue services and first aid in Mexico, totally. But in 1910, the Mexican Army was in very bad shape. They didn't have a whole lot of money, and the Spanish Red Cross really pushed to have the Red Cross established here. And so our Red Cross is a totally universal organization. We are bound by mandate to take care of everybody. We cannot be influenced by religion, by politics, by money, by anything. We have to be totally
Open to everybody.
open to everybody. I mean, everybody is my brother. That's the symbol. We have a 24/7 clinic with nurse and doctor.
Wow.
We have an X-ray that is there. And the reason that we have that is that right now in Mexico, 44% of the people in Mexico are below the poverty line.
44% are below poverty. Now that's the Mexican poverty
No, we
line.
don't see that here so much, because this is a microeconomy. Chapala, Ajijic, with all the expats, that's different.
That's true.
You know, it has changed the complexion. But still, there are an awful lot of people that find healthcare very expensive
Hmm.
and can't afford to pay sometimes anything. So that's why you see us out begging all the time. That's why.
No, you don't go out and beg. You go out and
Yeah,
ask
we
people to
do.
help you and do what's right, to try and help people that aren't as fortunate as others. That's not
Exactly.
begging. That's just going out trying to be human.
Yes.
You know, we should all take it. You know, it
Yeah.
takes. Everybody should try and raise the neighborhood.
And I think a lot of the new expats don't get an opportunity to understand that, because their lives are in gated communities, and they're not so much a part of the Mexican community around. They're not as much a part of the village.
You know, several of the people I've had on my shows over the past have said that, especially if they're, you know, Mexican. They said that even at festivals and things like that, they may have this type of festival or a chili cook-off or whatever, and it's all divided. The Mexicans go to their things, the expats go to their things. And what we need is all go to everything. We'll learn from each other. We'll grow as a community. And that's you know, we come down here, us expats, and we are visitors in a foreign country. And we should adapt to the society, the community that we've volunteered to come down and be part of.
Well, Mexico gives the expats an opportunity very, very much to live a better life than they would have where they're coming from. And I think we have to be aware of just how lucky we are.
Well, I'll tell you what, here we are in mid-September. It might get up to 80, 81 here today. At my house this morning, it was 61 degrees. We're at like 5,200 feet altitude, very, very beautiful. We have a beautiful, beautiful lake. We have palm trees. We have a year-round growing season with all kinds of flowers. It's beautiful to live here. I better be quiet, because you know what?
Don't let
Half of
anybody-
California is going to be living here before I know it. And a third of Colorado is already here. And I think on the parts of Canada, about half of them are here part of the year.
Yeah, Canadians tend to go back home.
We have a lot of snowbirds down here.
Well, we have snowbirds and sweatbirds.
Yeah, well, I don't know what sweatbird. I know what sweat lodge is, but I don't know what sweatbird.
Oh, sweatbirds are the ones where it's too hot in Florida and it's too hot in
Oh,
Texas.
okay.
Okay, and it will come down here and they get the rainy season where it's, you know, like,
I've never heard that term all the years
Mid-70s.
I've been here.
oh well, learn something new every day.
That's true. Well, my mother said I need to learn something new every day. Yolanda, you talked a little bit that the Red Cross down here in the Lakeside area have been 65 years, 64, and she was telling us how they are open to everybody for everything, not just catastrophes, not for just big major events that happen around the world, but you all don't just, you take care of a lot of different areas. All the small villages, the indigenous people, all the expats, of course, and the different small towns. How big of an area do y'all cover?
We don't have a frontier. Wherever they need us, we go. We take care of over 1,000 people a month.
Wow.
It's about 10% expats that they come to for office visit or accident or emergencies to our delegation. As you know, like 24 hours. We take care everybody that needs us, like, and no matter the hour. You know, like if there's an accident at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're there. I mean, they're 24 hours there. And I want to let everybody know here in the Lakeside community that all the money that comes to the delegation for Red Cross Chapala, it stays in Chapala.
That's
It's
important.
It's very important because some people ask, where does the money goes? So it goes to the delegation. We have 45 employees, you know, because it's open 24 hours, and to be open every day. Monthly, we spend like 300,000
Mexican peso.
Mexican pesos.
Okay.
Mexican pesos. So that's why we wanna let everybody know that all the money the people donate goes here. The only way we get donation is we make events, or the people when they get the service they make a donation. Very, very, very reasonable donation.
Well, I guess it's probably been 6 months ago or so. I was fortunate enough with some other people to be invited to attend a fundraiser, and it was at a retirement home over here on the west side of Chapala. And I think started at noon and went till, I went home at 5 o'clock, but it probably went on. The music was incredible. The food was incredible. The conversation, the fun we had was just spectacular. And of course, it was there to raise money, to help fund everything that you all do. Do you all have any events now? As I mentioned earlier, this is mid-September 2022. Is there anything coming up in like October, November, or through the rest of this year that are big events that you need to get out to the people and say, hey, on this day we're having this event at this location, come and bring your billfold or your checkbook
The
or
biggest
cash.
one,
Y'all take cash, right?
oh yeah, cash,
Okay,
cash is good.
donations. Okay.
But I mean, talking about that, one of the things that's been new in the last year is that people can use their debit cards and credit cards if they have to have an ambulance, and that's a
Oh, really?
new thing. That's a new thing that we have been able to do. So that's fine. The biggest thing coming up, we're going to have a couple of smaller events in September and October, but in November we're going to have the Cruz Roja Classic Golf Tournament at the Chapala Golf and Country Club in Vista del Lago.
Okay.
And this one will be our 17th. Wonderful prizes. We have teams signed up already. This year the purpose will be primarily to build up our coffers. You know, it was really hard during the COVID period.
Oh, I imagine.
Really hard. So the budget has been extraordinarily tight. So this year it's let's build it up, let's replace any equipment that needs to be replaced. That's the goal. Other years, 2018 when we had our tournament, between our tournament and our thriller demonstration that you've likely seen, the thriller dance.
No, I haven't.
Oh wow.
I know Michael Jackson had an album. It's the best-selling album of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
You'll get to see Thriller this year, October 30th, I think it is.
October
Yeah. Anyway, between those two events, we were able to buy a new ambulance. And
That's
it was
incredible.
the first new ambulance we'd had in 30 years.
Well,
Like a brand new ambulance right out of the showroom.
wow, do they have showrooms for ambulances?
Sure.
Well, I guess they do. I've seen fire trucks. I know that over in Puerto Vallarta there are several Canadian fire captains that had retired, and somehow through donations and help, they had fire trucks donated to that area. And ambulances are probably more important than fire trucks unless your house is on fire.
It's the ambulances that we had donated years and years ago were diesel ambulances, like big hefty things, and were a little difficult to get around town in our little streets.
Oh yeah, they're very, very narrow.
Ambulances now are kind of streamlined, and they're good stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So the golf tournament is in
November 10th.
November 10th, and it's going to be, now is that the golf club right inside, or is it the one that's on the west or the east side?
The east side.
So the one that's the
Yep.
what's the name of that?
Vista-
San Nicolas? Is that the name
Well,
of the town?
San Nicolas, and then that particular community that's around the golf course is called Vista del Lago.
Okay, and you can sign up going
At
to the Red
pro
Cross
shop.
or at the pro shop at the country club?
Yep.
Or is there someone they can talk to at the Red Cross where they can go ahead and sign up? Not Don Marie Fraser.
No.
Oh, yeah, Don Marie
Yeah.
Fraser. Are you a golfer?
I'm on Facebook,
Okay.
and they can find me on Facebook, and they can message me, and I would be happy to either help people become sponsors. We need sponsors, or people that would like to register their teams to play.
You mentioned earlier that you're always trying to get new equipment and things like that. And I know a lot of the expats that come down here may have been involved in their profession as a doctor, a nurse, a x-ray technician, the president of a hospital or something, worked for a pharmaceutical company. You don't have any problems with if there's some equipment at a hospital in Chandler, Oklahoma, that they're not needing, that they could donate to you all?
It'd be great. In years gone by, we've had a little trouble getting it through the border.
Okay.
That has been the major thing, getting it here.
Well, I know several years ago in Puerto Vallarta, one of the big hospitals in the United States had one of the Coast Guard ships bring down quite a bit of equipment that was donated and given to the hospital there that's for the indigenous people and the people that cannot afford to go to the regular hospitals and people that just don't have insurance. And the Coast Guard was very, very helpful in getting that through customs and immigrations and just, you know, it
It's
was
all
pretty
about
neat.
who you know.
Well, it was, and
That
it was also
may be
gone through the
great.
United States Consulate General and the
Yeah.
embassy in
Exactly.
Mexico City, but maybe we can, you know, get them to help out a little bit more here.
That would be absolutely wonderful.
Wouldn't that be nice? Well, we'll talk to the Consulate General here over in Guadalajara before long. If people come down here and they have some wheelchairs, or they have a walker, or crutches, and want to donate them instead of giving to one of the bazaars and trying to make 50 pesos, you all take those kind of donations too.
We take those and we have them that we either lend out, like you can borrow this for a time that you need it, or in a lot of cases they're for people that are going to be permanently stuck in a wheelchair and they need that.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
All kinds of, I mean, when people die, we were very happy if they have extra medical equipment that you know has been used a little bit, walkers,
Crutches,
anything.
wheelchairs.
Anything. We're very happy to take it.
If you don't mind, I would like our paramedics to talk a little bit about our protocol
Okay.
when they go to. an
So if I pick up
emergency
and I do
then-
call 911, and you can call 911 down here, correct?
Well, you can.
Yes.
You can. You can. Do
If
it.
I have an emergency, hopefully.
You can call 911, but it will take more time than.
Okay, what do you, I'm an expat, I'm feeling heart problem, or I fell off a ladder and broke my wrist like I did 3 years ago. What do I do? What should I do?
You should call the Red Cross, or you should call another ambulance if you have any insurance or something like that.
Okay,
But
what
it's
what
easier-
number do I call?
It's easier to call the Red Cross. The number is 376-765-2308.
Okay, I want to take the opportunity to have you look into the camera
Ah,
and say that slowly so everybody will know.
376-765-2308.
Okay,
That's the number of the Red Cross, and you can call 24/7.
and they will send an ambulance to
Yeah.
help you out.
They probably ask you a lot of questions, but that's protocol too.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, you
we
gotta have
to
some
know-
information.
Yeah, we have to know all the information that we require, and then we'll send the ambulance. But the ambulance will arrive, and if you call 911, it will take around 15 minutes to get the information to us, and then we'll send the ambulance. And if it's let's say in Ajijic, West Ajijic, just imagine how far we are from Chapala to all the way over there. So it's around like ride for 10 more minutes, and 15 minutes for we to get the information, and 10 more minutes driving. So it's like a lot of time.
And you all are located, while we're talking about that, you're all located on the east side
We are located in
of
Chapala.
Chapala.
Yeah, Avenida González.
That's
Gallo,
where the old train station is,
near the
and near to where you get your driver's license,
yeah, it's
which is another whole show.
Yeah.
Near to the park.
near to the park La Cristianía. That's where we are.
Okay. And so I call the Red Cross, and you all are going to send an ambulance
Yeah.
over to my residence.
That depends. Well, we'll send the ambulance, but if we, I don't know, if you said you got stabbed, you got shot.
No, we don't have stabbing and shootings down here.
We do.
If you're walking down the sidewalk and you twist your ankle and break your leg,
Yeah,
or you
sometimes. Okay, yeah.
stub your toe
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, well, we get the ambulance, but if it's a violent scene, we have to call the police, and that's an issue right here because there's the rumor that says the police always go with us, and just want to make sure that they know the protocol, and if it's a violent scene, we have to call the police.
I want to state something. I want everybody to know this. If you do have an emergency and you do call the Red Cross, you have to tell them exactly where you are. Don't say, I'm in the yellow house next to the OXXO, because this happened. I had the Red Cross on my show in Puerto Vallarta, and a guy said they'd get calls, and I'm in the yellow house next to the OXXO. Well, in Puerto Vallarta, I think there was like 60 OXXOs. So you got to say, I am exactly right here. Give the street address, because unlike people like me that have no idea what the name of any street is in this whole town, I know there's a December 15th, and I know there's a, Cinco de Mayo street or whatever, and there's always a Hidalgo, but I have no idea what the name of the street is. I barely know the one I live on. You have to be precise and say exactly where I am, any landmark. I mean, OXXO's great, but say I'm at the OXXO that's right next door to the Intercam Bank, that's right next door to the paint store, that's right across the street from Pepe Pulio. Give as much information as you can.
And tell us where you are, which fraccionamiento, which colonia.
What
you're in.
neighborhood?
Because every colonia has the same name
The same
streets.
street name, yeah.
I mean, you can
That's
be
important.
you can be in Juarez Street and be in 14 different areas. But if you're in a fraccionamiento that has walls around
Gated
it,
community.
and has a gate and has a security guard at the front, notify the security guard that you've got Red Cross coming in, that you have an emergency, and they can guide them right to your home. Or send somebody out if you don't have a security guard. Send somebody out with a flashlight.
Or a flag or
Help-
something to,
help the
hey,
guys get there.
because time matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always. In
I
an
mean-
emergency, the time is crucial.
Every second's important.
Yeah, every second's important. So if you have somebody that can be outside waving at the ambulance, that will be easier for us to get
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so now you've gotten there, you're in the area, you're at the house. It's important if you're on the first floor, second floor, because some of these houses down here are very narrow staircases.
Yeah.
And you may not be able to get a stretcher.
Well, we
Up it.
manage
Somehow?
Somehow, yeah. When we have to take care of the patient, and if we need to take him to the Red Cross, we have to manage a way to take him down.
Okay.
If it's on the second floor, and the staircase is very.
Well, I'm just a
Yeah.
guy that talks to
Yeah,
people.
and it-
You guys are the experts.
and it
What else do they
happens.
need to know?
Yeah, and it happens to us. Well, the most important thing, if you have to know, you have to know what kind of medicine you're taking. If you have any disease like hypertension, diabetes, I don't know, if you have allergies, if you have insurance, that's also important too. And yeah, that's pretty much the most. Well, in
Family.
trying to let you know, learn the word in Spanish, because not all of us speak English, and to explain the paramedics, because probably it's not going to be us, the one who's going to take care of you, but learn the words in Spanish so they can understand a little bit of what's going on with you. Like, I have a pain, me duele el pecho, I have a pain in my chest, so that's good to know too. Yeah.
Okay.
We do have emergency bottles that we sell at all of our events, and we sell from LCS and from the clinic. And it's a little bottle that goes in your fridge or in your freezer that's marked with a nice big red cross. And on your fridge or freezer, there's a magnet that says, look inside, and you'll find a bottle. In that bottle is an information sheet that has your name, your best friend's name, or the person to call if they find you and you're unconscious, your allergies, your medications, your doctor's name, your insurance agent's name. All of that is included.
So everybody should have that in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And you give them away, or do you sell them, or what do you do?
Well, it's a fundraiser.
Okay, it's a fundraiser. So I come and I say, okay, I want a bottle. Here's $20, and then you
Oh, I
need.
could give you a lot of bottles. For
No,
free.
I only have one refrigerator. Well, I have two refrigerators. Then the important thing is, don't just take it home and take it out of your purse and put it on the floor. Take it and fill it out.
Exactly.
Put all the information down in
Exactly.
English, and if you want, photocopy it and put it in Spanish also.
It is in
It is in-
English and Spanish.
Well, you guys
It's
are
right
really
there.
So when
way
we
ahead
arrive
of
to
me.
the home and if the person is unconscious, we go to the freezer and we take it off the.
Is it the freezer or the refrigerator? It doesn't matter.
It's your
wherever it is.
choice.
Your
You,
choice.
Just put the magnet on the door.
Okay,
and
you put it
we
where
write the
whatever
paper,
door it is.
and we see the medication that he's taking and
Okay,
all that.
and that's critical.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to give certain medications to someone that is allergic to it. Like when I got bit by a rattlesnake once, they gave me rattlesnake anti-venom, and I was allergic to it. Now I didn't know it because I'd never been bitten by a rattlesnake before, so I learned a lot the first time.
Even things like in the medications, say you're taking a blood thinner, and the guy's got a serious cut. He's had a big glass cut or
Severus
something.
hemorrhage.
Yeah, so these guys have to look out for a hemorrhage. But that first hour, that first information that they get is actually
That's very critical. So next time you're at the Red Cross fundraiser, or if you're with the Lake Chapala Society,
Starting, I'll be there in October.
starting in October,
Yeah, we'll be there Tuesdays and Fridays.
okay, let's talk about that. Lake Chapala Society is a very, very important community center here in town and in Ahihi. And you're going to have a representative there starting in October. On what days?
Tuesdays and Fridays
Tuesdays and Fridays from what time?
from 10 o'clock till just after noon,
Okay, which is 12 noon here,
maybe 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, something like that. And you'll be able to go over there, make a donation, get your bottle, take it home, fill it out.
And if you've got any questions, you can ask any questions at that time.
That's great.
As to, we also have, we have little things that we have little notepads that you can put by your phone that actually have the Spanish translation of things like I'm having a heart attack. How to say the name of your street, that sort of thing that you can put by your phone. I mean, little things to help you along.
Gustavo, Jose, have y'all delivered any babies? Have you helped with any brand new little ones?
Not directly, but the Red Cross, like 1 month ago,
Mm-hmm.
we had a baby on the ambulance.
Yeah.
So it was from Ixtlahuacan and then for all the way to going. To
I live in
Guadalajara.
Ishuacan, so I know maybe
all the way to Guadalajara, the baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The baby born in the ambulance.
Sometimes when we arrive to the home, the baby is out.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there are still home births.
Sorry.
Like when I was born in a teepee, which is a Indian house. So they still do that. People sometimes just don't get to the doctor fast enough.
They still do that. As a matter of fact, almost all the children from Escala, they're born in Red Cross.
Wow.
They come,
You
They
know, when
come to Red Cross as an emergency. It's an emergency area.
I've never
But
figured that out. 'Cause
They wait for the last minute. And then they
women
do-
know 8-9 months in advance they're going to have a baby.
and,
I don't know
you
why they don't plan better. How come
They're
you?
busy.
Oh, it's
Busy.
yeah, they're busy. That's right. My grandfather used to say, well, my grandmother said, a man works from dusk till dawn, but a woman's work is never done. And my granddad said, you ought to get busy and get something done.
The big thing about the women that come in from Escala, especially, they've had no prenatal. So lots of times the births are a little difficult. The guys are, they're like, okay, fine, and have to whip them into Guadalajara.
If you don't mind, I would like to tell, especially all the expats in the lakeside area, that the guys here in the ambulance, they have to follow a protocol when there is an emergency. When they come to a home and they already have somebody that had died or something, they have to follow a protocol.
There are rules and regulations they have to abide, and you need to just, it's a very, very stressful. Anytime there's a medical emergency or someone has passed away, you need to, what do they say? Smell the roses and blow out the candles.
Exactly.
Relax a little bit. Let these guys do their job. They have the rules and regulations they have to follow. You may want something different, but they can't
Yes.
do whatever you want. They have to do what they have to and what's important. So that's a very good fact to let people know. We've got about 10 minutes left. What else do y'all want to touch on? What else does the expat community need to know about the Red Cross down here, or all the community? Because anybody can listen to these shows.
Yes, one of the things also is it's very important to let everybody know that the only one that supports and helps the Red Cross to continue to be open, to give the services, is all the citizens. We don't have an amount from the government all the time to help. Who makes it possible is all the citizens. It's people helping people.
Well, Don mentioned some of the different events they have. The Michael Jackson, or not Michael Jackson, but the Thriller. I guess he is kind of associated with that, isn't it, since he sang the song. And also the golf tournament. And then you do have some other fundraisings. But I don't need to wait till one of those events to give you some money or donate some equipment or something either, do I? I can just pick up the phone right now. We can have like a little mini telethon. You can do it 24 hours a day, anytime you want. They need it. Help them out, okay?
Well,
There's no better organization that you can sponsor or fund than the Red Cross. I promise you that.
And right now we're in the beginnings of our collective period, where you're actually going to see us a little bit more asking for money.
Well, I hope it's asking for money and not coming to my house to fix my broken wrist.
No.
You know, I
Just
don't want.
don't do that.
I love you all, but I don't want you. You can come over and have a Coke or a drink or something like that, or
That
some
sounds great.
some meatloaf and creamed corn and mashed potatoes.
Oh,
Well, now I'm
my
hungry,
goodness.
but I don't want you coming over there in an official capacity. If you ever come by my house, stop, come on in, relax, you know, cool off, whatever, but don't come with your black bags wanting to fix me. Okay? Is that a deal?
Yeah, one of the things that we did was I put it on my Facebook one year. I said to my friends, you know, it's time to clear out all those pesos that are in the bottom of your drawers. You know, you've got a little extra change and you throw it in the drawer, or you throw it in a cupboard, or you throw it in a bottle. Bottle it up, put it in a bag.
Piggy
bring it
bank.
down.
Bring your
Bring it
piggy
down.
bank down.
Bring it down. We're happy to count it.
Well, that's a
Yes,
pretty good
you
deal.
can, and that what we ask is you can put your email, your phone number, your name, email, and then we send you copy of the amount you donate. So like that.
You are a, I don't know what the name of it is.
Of the receipt.
There's some kind of federal income tax form, but you all, if I donate money or equipment, I can get an evaluation from you all and deduct it from my taxes, correct?
You have, if you have an RFC, you've heard all this stuff about RFCs and all the rest of that sort of stuff.
No, I don't know anything
Lately?
about it.
Well, it's been, an RFC is your registration with Hacienda, which is the tax people here in
Oh,
Mexico.
okay.
And there's sort of two ways that you can donate. You can donate if you're here in Mexico and you have a business or whatever. You can use your RFC and give us that number, and we will give you a tax receipt for that.
After 500.
And what is the name of the Lakeside Charity? Is it Lakeside Charity?
Lakeside Charity.
Yes, if you were down here, say you're an expat who's only down here for a few months, but you would like to have a receipt to be able to deduct it from your income tax in the United States, not Canada, only the United States, you can go through Lakeside Charities and say that you want that money to go to the Red Cross, Chapala, and they are registered in the States and they are able to give you a tax deductible receipt.
Well, believe it or not, we're almost out of time. First of all, I want to say thank you very, very much to everyone that came and visited me on my program today, for all the information you gave out. Anything in closing that you want everybody to know that I forgot to ask you, or it just came to the top of your head?
Thank you very much, first of all. Please, everybody touch your hearts, because there is so many people, they cannot afford, when they come to have services, they cannot afford the donation. So all of you that have that wonderful heart to make it happen, helps that people to have a better health and to be better. Thank you.
Exactamente.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you very much for everybody that tuned in today, that listened to this video. And it's going to be on YouTube, another opportunity to listen to it, listen to the information and learn more. Please, if you got some pesos or dollars or pounds or Deutschmarks or Thailand baht, if you want to donate some money, they'll take any denomination. And believe it or not, you have a lot of drawers in your house, all that little money adds up.
Oh, it does.
And it can be 25 pesos or it can be 25 million pesos. Whatever you want to do, you couldn't give your money to a better organization. Like she was saying, Don Marie was saying, it's not like the Red Cross in Canada or the United States or a lot of other countries. They help everybody and they can use your support. So again, thank you very much, Jose, Estuva, Yolanda, Don Marie.
Thank you.
Are you in relation to Don Marie Osmond? That's
Donnie and Marie.
That's
okay?
Donnie and Marie.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of look at them.
I've been doing that for a lot of
I've been
years.
looking at them so many years, I
Yeah.
kind of think they're almost the same person.
Yes, well.
Anyway, well, thank you very much for tuning in to Expat Conversations with Michael Nolen. And again, thank you very much to my guest, and please support the Red Cross.
Happy trail.